This is the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Pitt beats Clemson 76-43. Pitt led by 17 at the half. They win by 33. This was a matchup we thought of the two second-place teams, both 4-1, that was going to have a pretty evenly matched game tonight. Not so much.
Tim, I think that one of the things that you thought coming in, that Clemson was the best defensive team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And so while you sometimes expect Clemson to maybe struggle a little bit to score, particularly on the road, you expected a really good defensive effort. But they just didn't have that tonight. They turned the ball over. Pitt got out and started to run. And as a result, Pitt really got on a roll.
And they ran into a buzzsaw because Pitt was hitting on all cylinders right out of the gates, and they did it from long range.
Well, Pitt is not a team that relies heavily on the three-point basket, but they made 4 for 7 shooting threes in the first half, and then in the second half they were 4 for 8. So they made a total of 8 three-point field goals. They shot 53% from beyond the three-point arc. And when you combine that with some of the other things they did, they forced 14 turnovers. They scored 24 points off those turnovers. And Talib Zanna was just outstanding in about every way. I mean, he did it on the defensive end. He did a great job getting out and running. There's the steal. He had 2 steals in the game. He had 2 blocks. He was ready to catch the ball. Sometimes he cut great passes like that one. And again, he's running. Sometimes he cut really tough passes. The ball thrown behind him, and he picks that up. But Zanna, he was able to find those open shots and score very effectively. And we talked about Patterson before the game. Not a lot of points, but look at that. 6 assists. He also had 4 rebounds. He had a couple of steals. This is a really solid basketball team.
Boy, both of those lines are terrific lines in the box score. This was also a game of runs. I mean, Pitt starts on a 9-2 lead, and then they went on an 11-0 run. They finished the half on a 9-2 run. They come back to start the second half, 12-0 run. Clemson really wasn't in it.
No, they weren't, and part of the problem for Clemson was that KJ McDaniels picked up 2 fouls early. He had to go out of the game with 13 minutes left in the first half, and eventually they had to bring him back in because the game was getting away from him. But even when he came back in, he had to be very careful. So this wasn't the normal KJ McDaniels. And if Clemson is going to be good offensively, McDaniels has to be outstanding. And with those foul problems, he just wasn't able to get it going tonight.
Not what we expected. Pitt wins big. They win it by 33. This is the ACC Digital Network. It's brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Once again, the final score, Pitt 76, Clemson 43.